Hi, this is AnaCalero's Social Penetration Theory interview, and this is Ray, my interview subject.
How you doing?
Now, Ray, how did you meet your wife?
Well, I met my wife while I was going to college. I had a part-time job working at McDonald's, and we met at McDonald's. And actually, it's very curious that Anna had brought up the concept of love at first sight. But the first time that I saw my wife, I knew I was going to get married to her, which is kind of odd because most people say, "Are you crazy?" At that time that I did meet her, I did have a girlfriend, and she'd had a boyfriend. So I thought to myself, maybe you're a little crazy thinking all this. But eventually, within time, it did work out. We kind of, got together.
That's sweet. Now, how long did it take you from dating to the engagement?
Well, I think it was something that was done gradual because, like I mentioned, she had a boyfriend, I had a girlfriend, and of course, commitment is something that's built strong into my character. So it wasn't like I had the other girlfriend and I was going out on the side. So the situation kind of presented itself where we kind of started becoming friends. And then afterwards, we kind of noticed that it was a little bit more beyond friends. But nevertheless, I think we were going out probably a little bit over a year until we finally got engaged.
Okay, now you joined the Army after you got engaged. So what was the longest time that you spent apart from each other?
Well, the engagement, once we were engaged, we made a conscious decision for me to enter the Army. Like I said, I was going to college, but once we got engaged, one of the things that came through my mind is like, if we get married, how am I going to support this relationship? So one of the alternatives that I thought of at the time was going to the Army, which presented an opportunity not so much to have gainful employment, but also presented the opportunity of furthering my education. I was pursuing a degree in biology, and going into the Army, I then changed it to medical technology. So we were apart from that period at that one stretch, probably I would say about almost a year before we actually set the date for marriage.
Now, how long did you spend in the Army?
I had a full career, 20 years in the Army, and of course in that spell of 20 years there were periods of separation due to the job that I was doing. Some of the things that I was doing was sensitive. She couldn't go with me, and of course that required some separation time.
Okay, so what do you think was a positive from spending all that time apart from each other?
Well, one of the things is, of course, anytime you spend time away from your spouse or from your loved one, is that you have to have trust. You definitely have to have trust in one another. The other thing is that I believe, the love becomes stronger too, because when you tend to miss somebody, you tend to want to be with them more, and you want to tend to love them. You want to be with them, and so that was the positive thing, is that I think the love that we had for one another kind of built upon that.
Now, on the flip side, what was a negative?
Well, the negative side, of course, is that there's the issue of intimacy, and it's very hard to be intimate, at least let's say on a physical level, when you're separated. So that kind of takes away a little bit from the relationship. Now, a lot of times you say, okay, you can make it up when you're together, but it does take away a little bit from that. Plus, there's, we go through hardships and little experiences day by day, and especially when you have a household, that you're running a household, the spouse that stays back has to encounter those problems pretty much by themselves. Even though they talk to you and they let you know about it, you make decisions together. But nevertheless, when those decisions are executed, it's done by that one person that's left behind. So that maybe it's a negative because that person is almost like by themselves per se, to an extent.
No, I understand. Well, I thank you for your cooperation, and congratulations to you both on being brand new grandparents.
No, thank you very much. It was my pleasure.
Thank you.